Hey guys, Goldo Dragon here, back with another team builder for the TBL Week 3, this week against my opponent Light, who is actually a good friend of mine. We are both admins of a Facebook group called Poke Universe together, where we have kind of known each other for a while and interacted through that. So that's kind of cool that he joined the league a little bit late, right before the first week. Actually, he replaced somebody else, so he kind of got adopted their team and has kind of had to fix the problems and whatever else. But anyway, with that aside, his team is terrifying, and we'll go through it really quick. No changes to my team, and no change to the league name or anything like that. So don't worry about that, guys. But his team: Xurkitree, Kartana, and Nihilego, all of his OU picks, which have changed a bit. He's had a couple of some pickups there, but they're all Ultra Beast, which is terrifying. Necrozma, another really scary Pokemon. Dhelmise, Sylveon, Milotic, Guzzlord, Whimsicott, Gastrodon, Regice, and Regirock. So a bulky team, and a team that can hit like a truck. I mean, you've got Guzzlord, you've got Necrozma, you've got Kartana, you've got all these Pokemon that are just bulky and decently offensive. His big flaw, in my opinion, now this may not be a flaw. We are 1-1 and have a minus point differential. He is 1-1 and has a minus point differential, so I really can't say anything bad about his team. But the one big thing here is his Dhelmise is his only form of hazard removal. And as a result, I've had a couple of thoughts, been trying to figure out how do I put up hazards and get rid of that Dhelmise. So a couple of things on my team are designed to handle Dhelmise, and then a couple of things on my team are designed to get the hazards up and keep them there. Now, he picked up Nihilego this week. He had a Heatran before, which is actually, in my opinion, scarier. I don't know if I agree with that switch, but he didn't have a poison type before. And so I was so excited. I was like, Nidoking's going to run Toxic Spikes, and we're going to get some Toxic Spikes up, and they're going to be there and just be a hassle for his team. And even if he switches his Dhelmise in to spin them away, his Dhelmise still gets poisoned. So, but now he has Nihilego. I expect him to bring it because he just picked it up, even though it doesn't really match up that well against my team. But if he does bring it, then Toxic Spikes don't make a lot of sense. So we're starting here. Nidoking not running Toxic Spikes. Instead, running something super weird. We're running Mixed Nidoking this week with a mild nature. 172 in attack and 180 in special attack gives it about equal. Oh, excuse me. It should be 188. It should be 188 in special attack. We're just gonna keep going with the video, which gives it about equal physical and special attack. I have no idea why it changed that, but what that allows is Poison Jab with the Life Orb Sheer Force boost gets Oko's Sylveon, as long as it's not max physical defense Sylveon and max HP, but any sort of especially offensive Sylveon, it'll Oko. Earth Power with that amount of special attack investment, Oko's Kartana and Nihilego very easily, no trouble there. And nothing on his team is off the ground. So unless he's running something with an air balloon, which I wouldn't be surprised if he ran something with an air balloon, nothing. I can just click Earth Power over and over and just kill things and just hit things super hard. The other good thing is that obviously Poison Jab can hit Milotic a little bit harder, as it's usually pretty specially bulky. And I have access to both the special and physical moves depending on whether he brings Regice or Regirock. And I thought Poison Jab did better than Sludge Bomb this week, or Sludge Wave, because of the Sylveon, mostly. Whimsicott didn't matter, but I wanted to get that physical presence. My team is kind of special, but it's kind of interesting this week. And the 148 speed gives it exactly 124. 124 is enough speed to outspeed everything on his team after Sticky Webs. So we'll get there, but it's enough speed to outspeed every single thing on his team without when Sticky Webs are on the field. Max speed Timid Whimsicott, which is his fastest Pokemon, maxed out at 123, maybe even 122 when it's under Sticky Webs. So then I outspeed it. I was going to run Scarf with that exact speed investment, but I was running Ditto and I didn't want to run 2 Scarfers. So anyway, but we'll get there. Ferrothorn is next, and Ferrothorn, I learned my lesson. It's running Protect this week. I need to have something with Protect this week, and Ferrothorn fit the bill. I was thinking about Leech Seed and Toxic, but I didn't want to get rid of anything else in the set. So we're running Stealth Rock, Protect, Iron Head, and Toxic. Stealth Rock, obviously, that's something I want up on his side of the field. Break any focus sashes. It hits a couple of things on his team, like Regice, most importantly Regice, with good damage. He does not have a team that's particularly weak to rocks in general, but and I thought about running spikes as well, because again, nothing is off the ground, and 3 layers of spikes is doing more than Stealth Rocks, but I don't know if this Ferrothorn is going to get a chance to put up 3 layers of spikes, and I want it to be able to kind of switch in and out, and I don't want to just keep setting up hazards, because that's just going to become almost a burden on this Ferrothorn this week. So, because I don't have a ton of recovery, because I don't have Leech Seed on it, because he has access to Delmise, which I don't want him to be able to freely switch into Delmise on me. He has Whimsicott, which I don't want him to... I don't think he would switch Whimsicott into my Ferrothorn, but Toxic makes more sense. Toxicking the Milotic wears it down. Toxicking Xurkitree, Toxicking Delmise, Toxic Sylveon, Toxic Gastrodon. It just made sense. I was like, everything could be Toxic on his team, and we're just going to do it. So that was the easy and obvious solution to his team, was just run Toxic. Now, this is a specially defensive Pharaoh with some physical investment, just so that I can take a hit from a Kartana if I have to. I don't want to. I'd rather this thing come in on the Sylveon, take Hyper Voices all day, and not even worry about it. It can take hits from a special Guzzlord. I have to figure out what set he's running if brings Guzzlord. It can take hits from Milotic. It can take hits from a special Necrozma. It can take hits from Nihilego all day. Doesn't even worry about it, but it has enough defense investment to manage to guarantee that after Leftovers recovery, Kartana does not 2-hit KO it with not Smart Strike, Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword? Sacred Sword. So that's kind of why I'm running that much defense investment. The rest gets dumped into special defense and HP. Max HP, because why not? Ditto this week. Also learned my lesson. My team did not deal well last week with setup. And this week, I'm saying, you're not going to set up a Calm Mind Sylveon in my face. You're not going to set up, any sort of Beast Boost Kartana in my face. Ditto can come in. It's Scarfed, so it'll outspeed whatever setup he's done. And I can also get information about his set. The best thing about this Ditto, and the one reason that I was like, you know what, Ditto makes a really, really good matchup this week, is Delmise can't spin against Delmise. So if I have Sticky Webs up and Rocks up, and I know he's going to spin, I can just switch into Ditto and he can't spin, and Shadow Claw from a Delmise OHKOs a Delmise. So I can actually use Ditto and OHKO his Delmise after that. And he has no normal types, so he can switch out into something else. I can hit a huge Shadow Claw on it, and then I can switch Ditto back out, and then Delmise can't spin away the stuff. That thing gets speed dropped as well, stealth rocked as well. Or if he keeps his Delmise in, I OHKO it, and just that's it. It's done. So that was one reason, obviously setup. But the other reason is just information. I mean, this Ditto will tell me which of his Pokemon is running Stealth Rocks. When he's got Nihilego, he's got Necrozma, he's got Regirock. They can all run Stealth Rocks. Which one's it going to be? This Ditto may be able to give me some information about that. If I have his movesets, I might be able to guess his spreads and his items. And I might actually, I'm not sure if I can see his stats, technically, and actually get exactly what his sets are if I have this Ditto. I'm going to kind of figure that out this week. But I figured, I have Ditto, I drafted Ditto. This week it makes sense to bring Ditto. His only spinner is spin blocked by itself. So, let's try. Let's see what happens. Next up, Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz record the Rocky Helmet this week. This is a physically defensive... This is the most standard thing I've ever brought to any match ever. It's just physically defensive Mandibuzz because Delmise can't switch in on it. Can't touch it. I don't want Kartana to be able to hit it with anything hard. I don't want a physical Necrozma to be able to hit it hard at all. I don't want Regirock being able to two-shot it with Rock Slide. I just figured Mandibuzz, physically defensive. If Ditto doesn't pan out the way that I want it to, if something happens to Ditto, if he predicts the Ditto switch in and goes for a Shadow Claw and kills the Delmise that the Ditto, I switch Mandibuzz in and I click Foul Play, and Foul Play OHKOs his Delmise. So I have a couple answers to his one hazard remover, and Mandibuzz is not running Defog this week because I figure he's got a lot of things that can get rocks up, sure, and he could get rocks up, and my team is a little bit weak to rocks between Mandibuzz and Galvantula, and not a ton of recovery this week, but I really need my hazards to be on his side of the field. I don't really care as much if his are on my side of the field. So let him set him up. If he sets him up and I set him up, I win that trade, I think, in this particular match. Plus, Mandibuzz does have Roost, so I'll be okay. Like, I can just kind of stall there for a little while. It's super bulky. I can get knockoffs off, so they can't outstall me, and then I can click Toxic, and then I can literally just Toxic stall. I have Toxic on a few things this week, just because his team is so bulky that wearing it down with status is probably my best bet. And this is a week we really need to win, and so yes, stall is not my go-to style of play. Toxic stall is really boring to watch. Hopefully it doesn't end up being like that, but if it does, I need to be prepared for it. That's the way that a league format works. Next up is the weirdest Pokemon. So we have the standard Mandibuzz, followed by the Sticky Web Thunderwave Toxic Thunder Galvantula with no special attack investment, max HP, still running a Focus Sash with 36 special defense and 220 speed. So let me explain what this Galvantula is. So his only thing that is immune to electric is Gastrodon. He can't ever safely switch a Gastrodon into a Galvantula and not expect me to be like, he's got a Gastrodon on his team, let me run Energy Ball or Giga Drain. He has to think that's going to be the Galvantula I'm running. Everyone runs that. I'm not. And I'm not because I know he's going to think that, for one, and for two, because this set makes more sense. This Galvantula leads the game. I lead this Galvantula. It's got a Focus Sash. It can take any one hit. I throw up a Sticky Web, unless I'm staring down Kartana. Everything else, I throw up a Sticky Web first turn. It maybe not Delmise. If he leads Delmise, I'll get to that conditional, but I don't expect him to lead Delmise. If he leads Kartana, I click Thunderwave. Thunderwave is there specifically for Kartana and Nihilego. That's it. I don't want to Thunderwave anything else. But I do want to Thunderwave one of those two things. I outspeed with this amount of speed investment Nihilego every time, so Kartana leads, he clicks any move, Smart Strike, which is resisted, or Leaf Blade, which is resisted, or I don't know. He clicks any move. I can take any one hit from a Kartana. Obviously, I have a Focus Sash in case he crits or something, or has a Z move or whatever, and then I click Thunderwave. And I know it's 90% accurate, and I don't even want to bring that up, but I have to land it. Land Thunderwave, then I click Sticky Web once I outspeed it, and then the webs are up. Anything else, if he leads Sylveon, if he leads Milotic, if he leads Guzzlord, if he leads Regirock, Regice, Xurkitree, any of those, I click Sticky Web, I take one hit, I click Toxic. This thing isn't really supposed to ever click Thunder. It just can if it's like late game and he's down to like just Milotic or, you know, just Regirock and I need to click, or just Kartana and I need to click a move. It has that move. And I was debating, do I run Bug Buzz? Because his team's like really weak to Bug Buzz. And you know, should I just run that? And then maybe I was like, oh, if I could run Bug Buzz, I don't want to run Compound Eyes. I could run Unnerve in case he brings some sort of weird, weird berry set. Sure, I can try that. But Thunder, at the end of the day, I was like, no. He's only got one thing that's immune to it. It hits so much harder, and I'm not running any special investment, so like Bug Buzz isn't really going to do much anyway. Thunder also has a chance to para on something if he switches it in, if I haven't, gotten a status on it already. So I'm going to run the Compound Ice Thunder, but that's my only offensive move. If he brings in the Gastrodon, I just click Toxic, or I switch out. I mean, Gastrodon does not touch Ferrothorn. It's specially defensive Ferrothorn. He could burn me, but I have leftovers, and leftovers counters burn in this gen, so I'm just not worried about the Gastrodon switching into my Galvantula at all, as long as I have Ferrothorn alive. And the last Pokemon I'm running this week is the Sweeper, is the one that comes in at the end and just says, like, once I've got everything set up, Delmise is dead, I've got my entry hazards, Keldeo switches in. And so the first week I'm running Keldeo. Keldeo is running Secret Sword, Scald, Icy Wind, and Calm Mind. I am max HP, max special attack, modest, no speed investment on this Keldeo, because as I said before, that 124 that Nidoking hit, that's the important number to hit, and this hits 128 without speed investment. So I can outspeed everything after Sticky Webs. So I need Sticky Webs this week. They're so vital. The idea, switch it in on a Milotic, switch it in on, I don't know, anything, Regice, something I can take a hit from, and, Regirock or something I know he'll probably switch out, because Keldeo can take the hits from them, get one Calm Mind up, and sweep his team. This thing can the moveset I have can sweep his team. Now, the reason I'm running Icy Wind over any other option is that it's possible that Sticky Webs aren't going to go up. And what I'm going to do is if I get it in on that safe switch and know that he's going to switch out, then I can click Icy Wind on his surprise his Kartana or hit his Nihilego, which I don't think either of those switch in safely to a Keldeo no matter what. But it guarantees that I will outspeed them. It guarantees I will outspeed his Whimsicott if he switches that into my Keldeo, which he easily can. And I can click another one or click Calm Mind after that and take one hit. I'm running the Phytinium Z Secret Sword. That allows me to OHKO a lot more things, especially after a Calm Mind. Because Secret Sword is physical, so Phytinium Z makes it special, which is actually, or it's a special attack that hits on the physical side, like Psyshock, and Phytinium Z actually makes it special. So without it, I don't OHKO Kartana. I don't OHKO Nihilego, but with it, I OHKO both of those. And Xurkitree and I OHKO, I do like 80% of my Lodic, OHKO Guzzlord, but I think I OHKO Guzzlord regardless. OHKO Regice, which is a big one. So, Phytinium Z made sense. Yes, he's got some answers to it. It probably won't hit Gastrodon very hard. It literally doesn't touch Delmise at all. But this thing should never come in if it doesn't have to, if Delmise is still alive. That's just a big no-no. If Delmise is still alive, Keldeo should not come in. Unless, it's my last Pokemon and I'm going to 6-0 again. Which happened last week, so... But anyway, I've kept you guys far too long explaining what I'm doing this week, and hopefully we come away with a win. Hopefully it all works out. But thanks, everyone, again, so much for watching. Thank you for your support. If you like what you're seeing here, if you want to see more of it, I do intend to boost this channel and keep growing it and bringing more series and bringing more things to it. I've got ideas for the future, so make sure you hit that subscribe button if you like what you're seeing. Please comment with any advice or feedback about the length of the videos, the quality of the videos, things that you want to know, stuff like that, any ideas you have, just any feedback you have. Tell me if you have an intro or an outro idea, because I am struggling for those. But with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. So thank you, everyone, once again for watching, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And I don't know how to end this video, but I'm going to try to say thank you and good night. And it's probably not nighttime, but you will see me again tomorrow with the battle, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day until then. Bye-bye!